Hey, Gear Geeks! I got my Kemper cabinet and I want to show it off. No, not just that. I wanted to go over some of the things on it because it's been really a neat adventure. One of the things I wanted to show off is the fact that you really don't see people showing off how the quality it has a really cool leather strap, some piping in there. That's not leather; it's vinyl like everybody else. But the corners, look at the corners. They have these little leather little corners. It's like old school, really cool cowboyish. I don't know. I'll go to the side. It's tapered. Tolex is regular green Tolex. The input in and out for a through. It's 4 ohms at 200 watt. It's one speaker, 200 watts. It's got the regular Tolex green. It's a cool color though. I like the Kemper green. It is Kemper cabinet with the K. Anyways, isn't it cool? So let's go over some of the things about the Kemper cabinet. The Kemper cabinet's really cool because what it does is it allows you to have the tone of what Kemper wants you to have when you turn in, browse the different amps in it. So look, like I just turned it. There's a diesel. Oops, there's a Terror. But there's a diesel, Marshall, all kinds of stuff in there, right? Ingle, Soldano. So there's all these little different imprints, different tonalities. And those tonalities, what they generally do, just really quickly for people, is you got to have a PA. So Kemper really wants you to have XLR outs to the XLRs, to a mixer, to a PA. There's a Crown PA, a Crown amplifier, I should say. And this makes my PA. And that is the tone that Kemper always wants you to have. So when I was like using my speakers, like this Morgan, this Bogner, and some other cabinets I have, you can do that. But when you do that, you turn off the simulator in the Kemper, and now the tonality is kind of skewed. It's kind of like when you take a picture and you try to Kardashian it too much, it just doesn't sound right. I'm sorry about that. But, okay, so now with the Kemper, I have the Kemper with the 600 watt power amp, which you should really get because the tonality will be what they want you to be in. Anyway, so when I would use that speaker cabinet out, it really wouldn't sound as good. But now with the Kemper cone, you engage the Kemper cone, and now my Kemper speaker there is like my PA speakers. So I get the same tonality out of that speaker out. And you think, well, that's no big deal. Well, it really is because I like to have my tone just off the bat coming from the corner here. It's like where I have these other cabinets. It's where I like to have my cabinets in relationship to the studio, the drums and everything way over there. I like to have the throw instead of having my guitar cabinets next to everybody. I like to have it way over here. So I didn't have that before. And again, when you use your regular cabinet, it doesn't sound that good. I could throw a PA cabinet up there, but the Kemper came out with the speaker. And what you can do with it is if you go into the Kemper cone and you turn off the normal sound that they have here for each of the programs, which I just did, and I switched to whatever speaker this is a JBL speaker. So I can go in here and change the speaker. All these different speakers are in here. I'll go through them real quick as you look. Jensen's, Oxford, Goodman, Eminence. There's not a lot of Eminence. I was hoping there'd be more. I'm sure there'll be more in the future because that's the way Kemper is. Celestians. And the way Kemper is everything's free once you buy it. So once you do this, it's really cool because once I go through these speakers, the Kemper cone sounds just like those speakers. And I have them. There's a creamback in there. That's what this is, a creamback. Right now it's at vintage 30. That Vox back there is a vintage 30. And they do sound like so it's really neat. So if you want to create your own tones, grabbing an amp out of here, which I just showed you some amps, and then change the speaker and create your own tones, you can. me turn this off real quick. And then see, now I'm back to the regular Kemper cone being whatever the output of the XLRs are, which requires you to have a PA, or simply just plug in your headphone and you get what it wants it to be, what Kemper says the tone's supposed to be. They say that you're not supposed to mic the Kemper from Kemper. They say it doesn't sound like you would think it would sound, which doesn't make sense to me. I haven't checked that yet. I will eventually. But I use usually people have guitars normally have their cabinets on the ground, and they normally, they're kind of askewed from the cabinet to get bass reflection, to get off from the actual cabinet coming right out of them, because the speaker guitar, because it's kind of harsh. But the Kemper doesn't have a smaller center cone, it has a larger, and it means that the tonality is really good at right in your face. And I do like to have my cabinet, even though there's one on the ground, I generally like to have it waist level or higher, and you don't get the bass reflection that you normally would. So if you hit this little button here, bass boost, it gives you a 3 dB bass boost, which compensates for people like me that like to do that. So there we go. There's the Kemper cone. The Kemper cabinet with the Kemper cone is the actual speaker. That's what they call it. They were initially going to, let me go back to the normal program. See, this is a Soldano. So whatever speaker's in there, like, oh yeah, the speaker's cool, but you know what? I'm going to change it. And there it is. That's the Kemper cone. I can go in here and dink and change it to a cream back or whatever I want to change it to, vintage 30 or not. I'm going to go into the tuner because it looks cool. So there you go. Like I said, they don't want you to record I'm going to try that, the recording. This is a $500 cabinet. It's a one speaker cabinet, 112 speaker, but it plays really loud because it's 200 watts. You can put two of them and make it stereo. I'm not going to do that. I actually still play through the PA, and with the Kemper cone, I have that to play with. So there we go. I'm really happy with this. It's cool. I do think that everything that I've bought from Kemper so far has been right on, and they do a good job, and it's they support their stuff really well too. Again, once you buy it, all the uploads and downloads are free. So there we go, Gear Geeks. I think that's a cool thing, and you guys take care. I'm not going to play it. There's plenty of people out there playing through these things. I just wanted to go through some of the aesthetics of it and what I think of it. It's awesome, and it's a must-have when you have the Kemper. All right, guys and gals and people, you take care.